7:02 on this Friday morning. Breaking right now, a Prince William County police officer is in the hospital this morning after being hit by a suspect taking off in a car.
And that suspect was on the loose for several hours before officers found and arrested them at about 1:30 this morning. Our Lex Wars is live this morning in Woodbridge, where the officer was run over. And Lex, you say you just got an update on that officer's condition.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the first thing I wanted to get to. This officer still in the hospital and in stable condition, but their condition is also improving this morning. And that officer actually never losing consciousness after being hit by this car. We did think initially that the officer had been run over, but he did take a few steps to the side and that car just hitting him very hard. Now, it actually happened right here behind me. The car turning around in this cul-de-sac, and that suspect intentionally hitting that officer, knocking him back into the street here. That officer hit his head and has a serious head injury, but never lost consciousness throughout the entire thing. Paramedics able to work on him, and he is improving in his condition in the hospital this morning, so that's great news. Now, the suspect we do also now know is a teenager, either a 17 or 18-year-old boy. They are working to confirm their exact age, but after hitting that officer, the car ran into this car here on the side of the street and knocked over on its side. That suspect running away and eluding police for some time. Now, the whole thing actually started around 10 o'clock last night at a 7-Eleven in Woodbridge. That's where someone had reported that their car was stolen. Within an hour of that, around 11, that's when the officer found that stolen vehicle here on Oust Lane. The officer was walking up to the driver's side window, trying to talk with them. That driver sped away, made that U-turn in the cul-de-sac, and then rammed the officer down before hitting the car here. Now, the officer did have time to pull their gun out and shoot at the car before they were hit, but they did not hit the suspect or succeed in stopping that car. They believe he got maybe one, maybe two shots off before the car hit the officer. Now, the impact did cause that suspect to lose control of the car, crash down the street here into this car. Now, the second, we did have neighbors out here who heard what happened, and immediately after hearing that loud boom from the crash, ran outside. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
I just heard a bang outside, and I looked out my window, and there was a car flipped over on its side, and I at first thought it was an accident, came out, and then next thing you know, there was a bunch of cops and somebody running down the street.
And that person that she saw running down the street, that was the suspect who did leave the car here after over an hour of searching around 1:30 this morning. Some officers who are with the Special Investigations Unit here in Prince William County actually spotted that suspect, that 17 or 18-year-old boy, and were able to take him into custody. Now, we don't know the name of that suspect at this time because they're not sure if it's an adult or a minor. Once we do confirm the exact age of that suspect, we'll be able to give more information, but we do know, in checking my notes here, that suspect is facing attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, aggravated malicious wounding, and felony eluding, felony hit and run, as well as grand larceny for stealing that vehicle. So lots of very serious charges that teenager is facing this morning. And we'll have a little bit more information about them coming up, and make sure you're tuning in at noon because we'll have that information by then. For now, live in Dale City, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.